If I told you there was a great World War I simulation on the Atari 8-bit home computer, well, that might not get your attention. But what if I then told you that the same game combined the best elements from Zaxxon, Warbirds, and Star Raiders into a scrolling arcade shooter? I bet that gets your attention. We'll hit the skies in 1983's Blue Max right after this.
This video brought to you in part by Tommy in the Order of Cosmic Champions. This exciting and heartwarming coming-of-age Gen X novel is available now. Check the link for more info.
Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John, I am a GenXGrownUp. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video. You know, in 1983, as the North American video game market was starting to wobble, some of the best developers and their games made their way from consoles to home computers. Now, such is the case for Bob Polin and his 1983 Atari 8-bit game, Blue Max. You take on the role of an ace World War I pilot tasked with bombing and strafing missions across the enemy countryside. Now, in addition to blasting everything in sight, you'll need to keep your eye on your fuel and damage, manage your altitude for different targets, and even occasionally land for repairs. There's nothing here you haven't seen before, but never before had I seen them all put together in one game for a single immersive experience. Let's take off. Okay, so we boot up Blue Max and we're greeted to this computerized rendition of rural Britannia. You see at the bottom, Blue Max by Bob Polin. Synapse, 1983. So I think this was written by Broderbund, but published by Synapse. Anyway, Synapse, if you follow Atari 8-bit computer games, Synapse was a big deal in publishing. Some of the best games came out of Synapse. But all right, let me fade this music down a little bit and talk to you a little bit about. So the first thing you see, I talked about, it's kind of like Zaxxon. You have that isometric view. I talked about Star Raiders. You got to have that management of resources and damage and landing at the base and that kind of thing. So before I jump into all of that, let me just talk. We have some options. When it's a 2600 game, I talk about the options. So I'm going to jump into the options menu here. Before I do, it goes into a kind of a preview. It gives you an idea what the game looks like in an attract mode. And you can see there's that isometric view. Before we jump in, I want to just show you the options you have available to you. So when you hit in there, you can do Novice, Intermediate, or Advanced. Everything we're going to do here is on Novice because it's hard enough. Normal control lets you reverse whether or not airplane control. Do you want down to be up and up to be down, or up and down? I do it normal, which is up and down. We'll talk about controls. And then no gravity or gravity. If you're not constantly pulling up, you'll start diving. And so again, I'm going to leave all this on the default settings: Novice, normal control, no gravity. And then you hit start. So first things first, I'm going to pause the game because there's a lot to see right away. Now, don't get overwhelmed by all this. It's a lot to see, but that doesn't mean it's a lot to manage. It's like, yeah, the cockpit is complex, but you only look at one dial at a time. It's that kind of thing. Now, for starters, it might go without saying, your plane is currently on the runway. That's you down there, and you're waiting to take off from the base to head off across the countryside. At the bottom is your status bar, where it has everything you need. Now, everything you see on there now will always be there. And then there's a region over on the right. We're going to have some notifications when things change. So F is fuel. You have a full tank of fuel. It's 300. It goes down gradually. It's already gone down a couple. Bombs, B is for bombs. How many bombs do I have to drop bombs on stuff? You have unlimited, like, machine gun ammo, but your guns can get damaged. Speed, there's your airspeed there. It's currently 0. I haven't taken off. Altitude is 0. I'm on the ground. And my score. Now, over on the right-hand side, you'll have notifications, which we'll talk about in a moment. But when the game begins, you're going to automatically start taking off. You're waiting for your speed to reach over 100 miles per hour. Then you can lift up and you start flying. So let me show you that. 7, 8, 9. Up we go. There we go. So you see a P flashing over there in the notification area. That means a plane is about to enter the screen. There's a W. It says the wind is blowing. I'm moving right and not trying. It's a gust of wind that's going to affect you as you're flying around. P again says the plane. And there are lots of other little tidbits, like if I could get the, see how the base turned blue down there of the screen? The color of that base area of the screen tells you a lot. Like blue means you're at the same level as a plane that's on the screen. Yellow or green means you're in strafing zone, meaning I can shoot things on the ground, like, let me show you some on the ground here. I can shoot that stuff on the ground. So altitude really matters because there's this, if you are between 25 and 20 feet, you can shoot stuff on the ground with your machine gun. If you're above that, you can't. Now, if you get below 20 feet, meaning 19 or below,
that's going to turn red because you can crash very easily. And so you want to keep your altitude up, and if you have gravity on, of course, you're going to gradually decline as you're flying if you don't keep pulling up. I have gravity off. So let's talk a little bit about the controls. Now, it's an Atari computer game. It uses a standard Atari joystick, so you have a single button, up, down, left, right. The fire button, if you hold it down, machine guns will fire. Rapid fire, like you see here. If you hold the button and pull down on the stick like this, you'll drop one of your bombs. And you can try to bomb bridges, you can try to bomb buildings. I just missed that one. You can try to bomb anything on the ground that you want to try to bomb. Especially if they have targets on them. So let me bring up the scoring. So you can see the scoring is, in general, everything gives you points that you destroy, but things that have targets on them or red boats are particularly of value, and those are the high value targets. As you play through the game, you don't know for sure how far you have to go or how much you have to shoot. Now, we've talked a little bit about scoring. A couple other things out of the manual that I want to share that I think are important, such as this part of the manual that shows all the different readouts and gauges you have on your cockpit lower status bar, so you can understand what's going on throughout the course of the game. Because there's a lot of beeps, a lot of flashing things, and unless you know what they all are, they all mean something, as I said. You just got to keep an eye out. Now, occasionally you'll run into, oh here, L. There's an L that says I can land. So there's a runway coming up here. So you see my B bombs are damaged, and there's a runway, so I can land. Boom. All right, so I reach 0. It's going to refill my fuel. It's possible to get bombed while you're on the tarmac. So just got to hope that you don't get bombed. Because look, they're going to try to drop bombs out there. And we wait till we get to 100. Up we go. Everything is fixed, full fuel, and we're back into the fray. Now, like Star Raiders, you at the end of the game, when you die, you just have one life, by the way. If you crash, you're done. You will get a rating and a score. So you have to pay attention to the end of the game. They're going to give you a special rating. That's going to be something crappy like runway sweeper, or it might be something as high as, an ace or a blue max. It's this big mission. Now, I don't know if, as a kid, if I ever actually completed the full mission, because at the end, you'll land on the runway when they tell you to, and you completed the game. You see, I just did a Class 1 runway sweeper here with a low score. Despite all of this information I've thrown at you, Blue Max is a really easy and approachable adventure action game where you take on the role of this Blue Max ace fighter, and you just have, some people call it complexity. I call it depth. Right? I look at it as, wow, so my guns can get damaged, or my bombs can get damaged, or all those little things I have to keep an eye on, and I'm in control of this plane on this mission. Now, I don't know for sure if I ever actually completed the mission, because when you do complete the mission, they tell you, hey, congratulations, you completed it, and here's your ranking, and you land on this runway, but I've always died before I've gotten to that part of the game, so maybe today will be the secret sauce? I don't know. I'm going to try a points run and see how well I can do. Before I do, I'll remind you, of course, of our store over at GenXGrownUp.com/merch, where you get all kinds of cool original designs, like our logo matched up with other pop culture designs, or original designs from other artists that are based on video games or TV or movies or whatever you might be interested in. You get it printed on hats and mugs and t-shirts and pretty much anything. Not only do you get the thing you ordered, but it helps to support independent content creation, just like you see here on GenXGrownUp. So please keep us in mind. Pick something up next time you're in the market. Okay, I'm gonna hop in the menu, make sure I have everything set to normal, novice, that's all good, see how well I can do. I'm gonna hit start. Here's my points run. Up we go. And you gotta be careful, like I say be careful, you gotta watch out. You could die really quickly with a plane coming in the screen at the same height as you or something. There's a lot of ways to die in this game. You just have to mitigate the risk. So at the same height as that plane, I can shoot it. Good. Bomb that. Since the buildings, and I got a leak in my fuel tank. So that bomb hit me. That anti-aircraft hit me. I have a leak. That means fuel is going to go at an accelerated rate. So I just have to be careful to, as soon as I can land, be sure I take advantage of that, right? Anyway, I was saying, since all the targets are pretty well, that's a premium target. Since all the targets are pretty well the same value, I just try to shoot everything that moves as best I can. Oh, now my bombs are damaged, so I can't. You can bomb, but it's intermittent. Sometimes you can't bomb at all. There, I got one off. Try to get this. Ugh, got that one. So I really am looking for a runway now, because I've got some damage that I will need to deal with. I couldn't get that one, just couldn't get a bomb off. Let's do some strafing, I guess, at 24. Remember, you have to be between 25 and 20. There, landing strip is here. I saw the L pop up, that blue L. So we're just looking for an opportunity to land and hope we don't get bombed on the runway. There we go. And if you have to land early enough that you have enough runway to take off. Because if you land and you stop too far down, there's not enough speed to get up to 100. Alright, so tank is full. It'll fix all my bombs up, then fix my damage, fuel leak, bomb damage. Alright, and off we go again. And that's kind of the Warbirds feeling that I was talking about a little bit, where, you know, if you need to, absolutely you could go and land and replenish your supplies, but you're vulnerable when you land. I always wish there was some kind of an indicator to tell me, oh, got that boat, to tell me how much further I have to go to get to the end of the mission. Ooh, building. Got it. Because I really don't know. I expect, it says, you know, how many rivers do you cross, how many of those high-value targets you get, but it just doesn't give you a number. And speaking of, well, now my guns are damaged, so when I hold down the button, it doesn't auto-fire. See, it's kind of sputtering. Got 1,150 points. I don't even know what a good score is. I'm always just watching, you know, the screen, not so much watching for, oh! So R says runway, but doesn't say I can land at it. You can't land, unless it says L, you can't land. So maybe it's too much crosswind. Yeah, don't try to land if there's R. R just means runway. You have to be an L in order to land. So I was mentioning all the high-value targets. They can be planes that flash, which you'll see in a second. They can be targets on bridges. It can be red boats, or it can be these buildings over here. Anything can be one of those high-value targets. I'm trying to avoid getting hit anymore until a runway shows up, because I really can't afford a fuel leak at this point. But shoot everything I can in the meantime, right? There's a good bridge there. Oh, their landing strip. Okay. Whew. So my guns will get fixed. Fill my fuel. Oh, here's that plane. He'll try to bomb me on the runway. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's something about this game and its sequel that, ooh, I got hit. What an M? M is maneuverability, so I can't go steering up and down as easily as I used to. There's something about it that just, it makes me feel, and the fact that it's a computer game, they can put so much more in it. It's not that there weren't flying games on the 2600 before it, it's just that, looking for the landing strip, it's just that now you have more invested because individual systems can have problems and you can address them. Don't bomb me, don't bomb me! Ooh. Oh, that was a high-value plane. I just wasn't the right height to get it. Oh, high value. Got it. You know, you want to get low to kind of do that air. Ooh, 19. See, that flash in yellow said you are too low, you could crash. I almost bit it right there. So see how the terrain is changing a little bit? Here's an enemy runway. Oh, there's a high-value building. Got it. Lower, shoot some of this stuff. Some of the cars on the road. That's a lot of points pretty quickly you can get that way. Just be careful, don't dip below 20, you know? Oh, high-value building. Got it. You know, probably not since I was a kid have I focused on this game as much as I am right now. So we have a pretty good chance of seeing pretty far into it. Whoa! Oh! He said, as a plane ripped on the screen from just behind me and blew me up in the air. And that's it. That's how fast the war ends. And I shouldn't have said anything. But, so we got a rank of Class 3 Air Cadet with a score of 3430. Could have gone much further, obviously. But I think that gives you a taste of what this game is. And you can understand whether or not it's for you. It's always been one of my favorites. And on its own, it's worth finding a way to emulate Atari 8-bit stuff if you don't have a computer yourself. But Blue Max from Synapse, pretty darn good game.
Blue Max is yet another great reason to explore Atari 8-bit home computer emulation. If you're one of the many people wondering why I was so excited for the 400 Mini from Retro Games Limited last year, it's because of games like this. Blue Max was ported to the C64, the Spectrum, and then later the Atari XEGS, and Polin's sequel, Blue Max 2001, released on Atari computers in '84. But the original 1983 Atari release of Blue Max is the one to check out. Now, if you want to try to tackle my high score from this run, which shouldn't be tough, lots of viewers are posting and comparing their high score screenshots over in our Discord server, so pop over there and check it out. Meanwhile, a couple more editions of Friday Plays you can watch right now, linked here and here. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.